Hey, all right, so I am now on the line with a Miss Dahlia F and a Mr. Davidson St. Ford. How are you two doing today?
Oh, we could use some more sleep. A full day of classes.
Hey, it's been a busy weekend.
Oh, tired, man.
Yeah, but it feels really good though. And teaching is both of our passions. We both love it.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, wait, hold on. Please inform me. You both were teaching this weekend, or what was this weekend?
Yeah, so I was invited to Jacksonville to do a private. So it just so happened that I said, well, let me open it up to the rest of the Jacksonville community. And then it got even bigger to a full day of private. And just so happened I had a conversation with Dahlia. And I said, Dahlia, you're doing this book thing and you teach out of South Florida. Why don't you come and with me to Jacksonville, and you can help me with the private and be able to promote for the book. So that's how this whole thing came about.
Okay, that's impressive.
Very excited to have
Hey, okay, so Dahlia, I didn't know you were actually a teacher as well, Dahlia. Well, all right, so hold on real quick, just so I can give people, an introduction. So, Miss Dahlia, you are a digital nomad, you are a dancer, you are an author, as well as a teacher as well, right? A Kizomba teacher?
Yeah, so in Miami, I teach salsa and bachata at Salsa Central in South Beach, but they don't have a strong calling for Kizomba yet there. But when I come up with Davidson or when there's an opportunity, I'll teach. Yeah.
And then we have Mr. Davidson St. Ford, who is a previous guest on the show.
And future.
It is amazing to have you back on the show. For those who don't know, Mr. St. Ford was born in Haiti, and you are the owner of Kunity Dance Studio, which you own in Orlando, Florida. Is that right?
That is correct, man. That is correct. Orlando, Florida.
Okay, showed up, man. So, I think the reason we got together for this special occasion is that Miss Dahlia has this new book coming out. Do you want to, I guess, go ahead and speak on that a little bit?
All right, so the book is called Azalea Kizomba Queen, and it's just kind of a name that her friends, close friends, call her by when they want to, refer to their friends. And it's a very, it's a story about an awakening. There's a lot of people who sometimes feel like their life is flat, like they're bored, they don't know what to do about it, and their life is flat. And that's what Azalea is going through until she sees Kizomba for the first time. She'd actually stayed away from social media because it made her feel bad. It didn't jive with her, and she just wasn't, she didn't feel good about herself. She didn't feel good about the world. She kind of stayed away from social media. When she decides one day to take a sneak peek, see what's going on in the world, one of the things that she sees is Kizomba, and she falls in love with it. And her personality is based on a very good friend of mine in San Diego. I met her through flamenco. I started dancing flamenco. That was my first dance. And I met her through that. And this woman has got such strength and such passion for everything that she does that in Azalea, in my character, my main character, my friend Reyes Barrios, they both have this personality that just kind of takes over, and they go all out. So Reyes and flamenco did the impossible. I'm talking of within 2 or 3 years, she was a force to be reckoned with. Everybody in California and the west coast of Mexico knew who Reyes Barrios was. She was singing, and you have no idea how difficult it is to sing flamenco. And she was dancing and she was teaching within a matter of 2 to 3 years. And that's kind of like the power and energy and passion that Azalea has, but she was flatlined for a long time in her life. And it's a story of an awakening of what a passion can do for your life.
If you could put this book into a genre, like how would you, I don't want to like put it in a box or anything, but you know, is this like a romantic comedy? Is it a drama? Like, well, how would you describe this book as far as a genre?
Yeah, it would fall within romantic comedy. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sure enough. And so you're writing this book. I guess is it safe to assume that you know Miss Azalea is that maybe like your alter ego, or is this a you know are you drawing from past experiences? You know, I guess what was the inspiration for this character?
Well, the inspiration was my friend, and also the kind of body shaming that women experience in society. So Azalea doesn't have the typical dancer body. Nobody would assume that she's going to do anything with dance because that's the way our society is. And I knew exactly who she was the second I imagined her. And she's just average woman who has some hidden, very spectacular characteristics. And you don't find that out until later on as she starts to develop and she feels that and sees that in herself. Yeah, and so she's not me. I have a character in the book, and I'm a side character.
Okay.
And the side character is my alter ego. She's like the best version of me ever. And yeah, so there's lots of characters in there that I pull from other places. I pull from people, little pieces of people that I know. And it just kind of comes all together based on a lot of the things that actually have happened to me, whether it's funny or it's sad or anything like that. These are things that I've heard from other people or that are actually things that I've experienced personally. And it's a little bit shocking, some of the things that I've experienced.
Okay. I understand that. I want to. Hey, if you could leave a like and subscribe, that would be amazing for the channel. Let's get back to the video. I understand that. I want to. You said something earlier that I kind of I guess I kind of noticed myself when you said that Azalea doesn't have, I guess, like a normal dancer's body. And something that I've noticed, especially in the social dancing scene, is that you can never truly tell how good someone is just by looking at them. So no matter what your body shape is, you know, you still, I've had amazing dances with individuals who, you know, who I guess didn't fit that stereotype. And I would love to hear from both you all. Davidson, I know you were in a dance studio, so I know you maybe have seen this firsthand, where you know maybe you were surprised by someone's ability or something like that, right?
Absolutely, man. That's the beauty of dancing because um, dancing it's more important of how you feel on the inside, who you are on the inside, because it usually has nothing to do with how you look, your shape, the size, however it is. It's really the celebration and bringing out what's inside of you. That's a true dancer. And believe it or not, some of the best dancers I've had is people you least expected. So that's why, from my perspective, I don't I try not to judge people based on what the outside looks like. I am more important is what's the inside, and you will feel that connection once you have that embrace with your partner.
Yeah, I love the word celebration that you use because I mean that's what dance is. It's you're inspired by music and you're celebrating that music. And if you're a social dancer, you're celebrating that music with other people. You're a performance dancer, you're celebrating it for the audience and you're creating something together to celebrate this music. I love that, and that's you know, that's something that you feel in your connection, especially with Kizomba. You feel it also with other dances. So even though the book is about Kizomba and it's about an awakening and a change of life for a woman, it applies to anybody who has had a change of life and because of dance, salsa, bachata, whatever dance, they're going to be able to really identify with the changes that Azalea sees in her life and the passion that she feels for it. Yeah, and Azalea, you know, the second I thought of her and I thought of her, you know, her shape, it was based on an experience that I had in flamenco, where there's a world famous, and especially in Andalusia, flamenco dancer who came to the Cairo Opera House, gave a spectacular performance. This is a gypsy, like her family comes from gypsies. She gave a spectacular performance. And at the end, and you know, every single cell breathes flamenco, and she's so talented. At the end of the show, the people sitting next to me said, I can't believe that the Cairo Opera House brought us this larger girl, this big girl to put on stage. I was so shocked to hear that, because as a dancer, you recognize, you see it, you love that passion, that celebration, that giving your all, and that talent. You can see it, and it's just a sad thing that shouldn't be happening in society.
That's
It's funny. It's funny. We were talking about that just this morning. I watched a video by Eddie Bennett on connection, and it was amazing how they're talking about connection is just not dancing with someone. It's the culture. It's spiritual connection. It's a physical connection. It's a mental connection. The culture and the way people live, and I thought that was pretty deep and relevant to what we're talking about. Is, you know, when we actually are dancing with someone, there's more to just executing move. There's the aspect of sharing this special moment with someone. So that's so all of that kind of bring the thoughts behind the book of how you connect with people on all different aspects. So that's definitely something to point out.
Yeah, and Azalea, for a long time, during that time where she was dead, where she felt like a zombie, she wasn't connecting with the people. She wasn't connecting even with her best friend. And she had kind of lost connection. She just work, home, TV, work, home, TV. That was it. And when she falls in love with Kizomba, she immediately wants to take classes, and all of her social life completely changes. And that's what other people notice too. When you're on a dance floor, when you're in a dance studio, something that's important to me is multiculturalism. I grew up in many different countries, in many different places, and I felt the most comfortable when I saw a variety of different kinds of people and just, you know, intermingling with everyone. And she gets to experience that. Whereas her world may have been much smaller before, much different, much more homogenous. She comes into this world where everyone is accepted. Everyone is like there to have a good time and to just interact and mingle.
That's definitely something I noticed as well as in the social dancing community. You know, it's a lot of love, a lot of acceptance.
Yes.
Yeah, so I definitely understand that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate to that. That's one of the benefits. You spoke on something earlier where you said, you know, she starts to see, I guess, you know, the changes after she starts social dancing. And I'll say, you know, something that I've noticed is, I guess one of the benefits of social dancing is, you know, I guess just an increase in like self-confidence. And so I'm curious, is that something that you two have also experienced yourselves? You know, I guess, you know, becoming good at anything ultimately leads to self-confidence, right?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't touch so much on the self-confidence part of it because it's just such a natural progression.
Mm.
And just breaks her out of her shell, out of her like, kind of like, and the one thing that she does that she wasn't expecting is travel. I've known people, and me coming from my background of I've been on a plane since I was 1 year old, probably taken hundreds and hundreds of flights, and and lived abroad. And I've spoken with people who just could not even fathom doing even a quarter of that, even going to another country to visit. It's an interesting perspective. So she goes from that perspective where she would have never even thought to go to Brazil when she had a little obsession when she was a teenager with lambada. She'd have never thought to go to Brazil. When she gets older and she has a little bit more control over her life and she sees that people are traveling to these congresses, now suddenly, that seed is planted in her head. I want to travel. I want to go to a source for Kizomba and learn. And, things don't always work out the way you want to, but she does get to travel. And that's a big break and a big, coming out of your shell.
Of course. Definitely. The opportunity to see new things is super duper important. So I definitely understand that. I definitely do. So I guess I'm very curious to hear from you. What was the process like for you for writing a novel? Is it something that you look forward to? Were there like troubling times, difficult times for you in this whole endeavor, or what was that experience like for
Yeah, I don't know. This isn't the first book that I've been inspired to write. I started a book when I was in Egypt, and I know I have to go back to Egypt to finish it because there's a lot of details and a lot of nuances that I want to recapture. But I'm a former journalist, so I was writing a lot. So I've written a lot of newspaper articles, just on lifestyle. I've edited a lot, and I've always kind of expressed myself well through writing. Even though I wasn't trained originally in writing, I quickly became an editor because people saw my abilities and they saw that I could help them. But for me, just the inspiration from Azalea, personality, from things that were going on in my life, I just started writing, and most of it just kind of flowed, just like one after the other, just flowing. And then suddenly I get to a point where it's like, now I don't know what's going to happen.
you?
So the process has been like 3 years. So I started it in 2017.
Wow.
And
Oh, that's a long time. Yeah, continue.
yeah, but I mean, considering the fact that I'm, writing, that I'm freelancing, I'm working full time, I'm dancing, I think that your first book at 3 years isn't too bad. And then there were certain points where I got stuck. For instance, one of the characters has a little bit of an incident, a run-in with the police. And this was written like way before George Floyd or anything like that, the scene. And it's because it's such a pervasive part of like living in the States, sadly, that it was just something that just naturally came after writing. And I just naturally came to this point where one of my characters has a run-in with the police. I've never had a run-in with the police, so I wouldn't know how to do that. So I had a period of time where I was stuck. How do I write about this? And then I took a comedic angle for part of it. And then I also, at the end of this like comedic moment, I come face to face, like literally in a mirror, with some real truths that must be going on in the police and society. And that was kind of like a breakthrough. And then after that, things started to kind of flow. And then, it's just a process of starting and going and just imagining things. And that's kind of my process. I just, somewhere I'm eating breakfast and I'm thinking about Azalea because I love my characters. I'm thinking about all my characters. what's going on in their lives and things that are going on in society. And then that filters into this because we like to stay in our dance bubble, but we're in society, you know, and all these things are going on in society, and they seep through always into our bubble.
And you know, I can add to your point too. Is I think that's one of the beauty of Kizomba. It's the diversity. I would say Kizomba is probably one of the most diverse dance that I've come across. And given what's going on right now in the world, it's definitely an avenue to for sharing, for understanding, acceptance, compassion, empathy, and be able to try to understand what it is to be, to live, and with certain skin colors, certain background, and things of that nature. So I think it definitely the book kind of shed some light to the experience of getting getting pulled over by police, the interaction and things of that nature. I can certainly tell you, Kizomba have brought me into exposure with so many different backgrounds that I would have never imagined, coming across. So definitely, Kizomba is definitely a tool. It's a way to unite and make that connection in the book that we share some of that perspective.
Yeah, and it's such a natural thing. That's one of the lovely things about it, about dance in general. It's such a natural thing. We just love music. We want to connect. We want to connect with the music. And like everything, all of the tensions that you might feel outside are, they're different. There's also the male-female tensions, which I do talk about. Some of the it's not all peaches and roses, but it's still when it comes down to it, it's still that connection, it's still that enjoyment of coming together, and life moves on. And by the way, one of the characters, and this is why Davidson started, being introduced into the book, is I write my characters and I imagine them and I maybe pull from different people. And one of my characters is named João, and as I'm writing him and filtering him into the book, I hadn't known Davidson very well at that point, but then as I'm writing more and more and he becomes a bigger part of the book, I suddenly realized Davidson has the same energy and even some of the same like characteristics as João. As I'm starting to get to know Davidson, I'm like, that makes him a perfect person for the cover. So let me ask him. He was all for it. He was down. So I'm very eternally grateful for being on the cover, for supporting, for just being here, for getting me connected to Terrence at 2 Left Feet. I'm eternally grateful. Thank you.
Of course. To add to that, I saw Dahlia passion. I saw she's so focused and dedicated to achieve and be able to share what's going on in this inside, really trying to reveal and trying to shed some light to different aspects of life, coping with different situations. So this book is definitely a way to see things. A lot of times as dancers, we're in that bubble, so sometimes we don't see what the outside sees. Out of the outside sees, most people. So you mean to tell me you go to Congress for a weekend and you dance all day, all night, and then you go back to work and you do it again? So, yeah, and I'll do it next week. So, so that's so for her to bring that light from different perspective for dancers and non-dancers. So I definitely encourage you, and I think that this is such a great thing for the community.
Thank you. On that line, I'm surprised that people find that so unusual, the dancer lifestyle or the dancing, scene. So in a way, it's when you're reading it as a dancer, you'll be like, oh yeah, I recognize that kind of personality, and I've met this kind of girl, and I've, you recognize and you see this very clearly. from the outsider's perspective, for instance, I have a friend who was helping me edit it in the first stages and the first half of the book, and she's not a dancer. And to hear her feedback that, yeah, it's really interesting to hear even the studio dynamics and the dynamics on a dance floor, and that dance is so big on YouTube and and Instagram. They're not really aware, and it's a curious thing for them to get a little insight into this world. And I hope that, I always like to see change and see people be happy. So if dance can make somebody else happy, can make a change in their life, I would just be happy that, that the book also gave them a little doorway into that.
Okay, I understand that. I definitely do. That kind of leads me into like my next question for you. Kind of already spoke on it, but I guess what did you have like a goal in mind for, I guess what message did you want to portray, as you wrote this book? Were you trying to do like a call to action, or were you just trying to tell a story? Did you have a goal in mind when you were writing this?
No, when I was writing the book, it was just pure inspiration. I didn't think what my goal was. Just pure inspiration. Like I just got inspired and I said, oh, I just want to write about this character. And I want to write about her experience and how she grows. And that was just how it began. But through the book, because all of these societal issues like keep seeping in, and it's something that I'm thinking about, something that I'm seeing, it's something that I'm feeling. And I know that the rest of us are feeling it. So I feel like it's not just me. I feel like it is all of us. We're all feeling this. And that's why, the George Floyd protests and everything, it feels different, even for people. Like you hear people speaking from civil rights movements who were, there in the 50s and the 60s, and they say these feel different. And I believe, and I'm not sure, but I believe that it is so that feeling, that mutual feeling amongst all of us, they're just like, we are so done with this. We are so tired of this. We do not appreciate what's going on. We enjoy multiculturalism, and we don't understand this anymore. We don't understand why this keeps happening. And just like that on body shaming, just like that on various other issues, on corporate life as well. So I talk about, and it's not talking about it, it's just like it seeps through. These things just kind of seep through the book, and you experience them, and you see already, okay, things could be better. And these are things that we're dealing with as a society. And I feel like I'm doing this, all of us together, because we're all kind of on the same page. Corporate America, the way things are the way workers are treated and the way things are being done, not the best right now. It could be better. Also the racial profiling, all these kinds of things. So it wasn't a goal, but I can't help but relate with my fellow human and be like, these are things that are affecting us and that need change. And I think that the other humans are going to also be putting that into their brain, and it's already there, and it's just going to make a little bit more of a consensus. And it's like, yeah, we are all on the same page. We all need these things to change. And it's not a goal, but it's reaching out to everyone and saying, yeah, we are on the same page, aren't we?
Right. And to add to what you just said, and you hit on the nail there, it's the exposure. I think what happened is these type of things they've been happening. They happen every day, and it's unfortunate that a lot of people really didn't know about it, or they were not aware. And
they were in denial.
They're in denial because it doesn't impact them directly. So it's almost like, well, it didn't impact me. Well, it really doesn't exist, right? So, the fact that now with better technology, we are exposing these things. We are exposing the injustice. We are exposing the mistreatment that's been occurring.
And statistics don't lie.
Yeah,
I mean, where you can fabricate and move around statistics, but when consistently Blacks, Hispanics, and all these, get paid less, don't get the same benefits, don't get the same like types of loans that, the statistically, come on, we know this. We're just in denial, or people are trying to be in denial, trying to keep the peace, keep their privilege. And yeah, not to, I'm totally about love and acceptance. So it's not, it's not resentment here at all. It's just, hey, let's just take a look at this. It's real. And it just seeps through the same way that it seeps through in our lives. These things are present. So the acknowledgement of it. And also my intention is not intention, because there wasn't an intention. I just write and write and write. And it's just, we're all on the same page. We all see this. These are things that are happening in our society. And yeah, for me, the goal of the book, so I wrote it in a hybrid format. I wrote it halfway between a book and a screenplay, so that it would be easy to read, faster, because you have more dialogue, less description. But a screenplay, as nowadays a lot more people have seen screenplays and know what a screenplay is. It is 99% dialogue, 95% dialogue, and hardly no description. So this is somewhere in between, because I want the reader to see enough and yet still be able to read through this quickly and feel like it's a quick read. And it's light, and they can get through it. And so the goal would be to put this on a screen. I want this to become either a movie or a series, because each person in this book has a very deep backstory. I've got a great imagination here. I can sit there and imagine a whole lot of stuff, and still be grounded in reality, just to let you know. But they have their really rich backstories. Very human backstories. So I can see this becoming a series or becoming a cult classic movie. The first Kizomba movie that also gives society a little bit of a different view of Kizomba. So the book starts off with your typical introduction to Kizomba. Everybody sees the tight jeans, sees the sexy movements, and that's all they see. Okay, they don't see like where it came from. They don't see the beautiful music from Angola and the mix that brought that up. They don't see women in roughly skirts, because legs are way important in Africa. They don't see that. What they see is like the typical person's first view of Kizomba is more the urban side, and I absolutely adore all of them. From the urban, I wear jeans myself, to the traditional, everything. But I would like for people to know that there is the other side. And just like salsa, so I'm Puerto Rican, and just like salsa, it started off in somebody's garage. People were dancing in people's garage when they were teenagers, and that was their party dance. And and it was very innocent. And now you can dress it up, you can make it sexy, you can do what you want within this. So it's the same thing with Kizomba. I want people to be introduced to all of it.
Culture, the essence of it, and what does it mean to the people that dance Kizomba. It's not just all about let me impress, let me do some move. There's that human factor. There's that inclusive aspect. There's that giving somebody a hug. Before I knew Kizomba, maybe somebody could have been envisioned, right, to be that close with someone, right? So, well, and it's funny. Sometimes I find myself at work, like I would like naturally give somebody a hug, like, oh wait, hey, how you doing? So that it's funny how the dance Kizomba broken so many walls that I didn't even realize. So.
Yeah, I like that. So right on. I can even see some of those, some what you said play out in some of the scenes. Yeah.
I would say definitely. I would say unfortunately, times are kind of crazy right now. I'm very curious to hear from both of you all. You know, like I said, times are kind of crazy. I guess how have you all coped with being unable to, you know, go out social dancing? And I'm very curious to hear from you both as well. I guess what do you see for the future of social dancing?
Me personally, I think, and I don't know, I've always been wrong about like big trends. I'm always right about small, interactions and human interactions, but big trends I tend to be wrong on. So I don't want to say it and jinx it. Just be completely off.
Um, I, for me, I would say with this whole coronavirus thing, I just go home and cry, man. I just, like,
There's two of us.
watch past videos and like, oh no, no. But how do I have a cope? I think there's two ways you could look at it. You could look at it left or right, meaning you could take it as an opportunity. Uh, Even though there's physical distance, doesn't mean that you cannot be connected more with individual. So I find myself calling people more. Just figuring out how they're doing. Also learning about myself, taking care of self. So it's a great opportunity to take care of yourself because if you are healthy with the self and loving the self, then it's easier to project with other people. How could you give love if you don't actually have the love for yourself? And then also too, it exposed how vulnerable we are. That we all need connection as a human being. And then lastly, I've been zoomed out. Doing all these different Zoom party. I had a Zoom social recently you came, and so those are things I've kind of been doing and to help cope with the social business.
Yeah, for me in South Beach, we've been teaching private classes, very limited face mask, gloves. We also, in the salsa community, we also set up what we call the Say Salsa Challenge with a DJ in Miami, DJ Mike. And basically, we did a compilation video of people saying, hey, stay happy, stay healthy, and dance every day. So even if you're in your home, dance. Watch a video, get inspired by somebody's movement, by somebody's tumbao, from somebody's anything, and dance. Salsa, kizomba, bachata, blues, tango, whatever. Dance. And yeah, dancing a bit at home and
get a broom.
Get a broom. Put a wig on the broom. Yeah.
I'm very curious to hear from you. I know you both are able to dance, many of the dance, not just Kizomba. I know, Davidson, I know you do compa and as well as, salsa and pretty sure other dances as well. And Dahlia, I mean, I know you at least do salsa bachata, correct?
Yeah, flamenco, a little.
Okay, yeah. I'm curious. I'm curious to hear from you both. Is Kizomba, is it any different than any other type of social dance? Meaning, you chose to write about Kizomba specifically, but could you have easily wrote this book about a salsa dancer, about a bachata dancer? Is there a difference?
Yes, there is a big difference for me. At first, when I first got into Kizomba, when I first danced Kizomba, I thought the same thing. This is way too close. This is way too close. But I've been dancing flamenco, salsa, and bachata at that point. And but when you are listening to the music and you come together, and it's like that, they call it connection. And it seems like such a cliche word now because, you know, you can use connection for many things. There's got to be like a more succulent word to say that two people are coming together and they're getting to know each other in this little space, in this little time, and they're just feeling each other out and seeing, okay, where, you know, where are you listening to the music? Where's your soul at this moment? And it's so much more than when I'm dancing salsa or when I'm dancing bachata, and it comes close to flamenco in the sense that flamenco is, you know, mostly a dancer can dance by themselves. You dance with a group of musicians. You are interacting almost like a musician with them. So in the sense that that Kizomba, you know, has a lot more feeling to it, it's similar to flamenco in that tiny sense. It's closer to tango. And that, again, it's these two souls feeling each other out and saying, ah, where are you right now? Ah, I can feel this, and the music is going here, and I want to, you know, move here, and I want to take a, you know, big energetic step and enjoy this energetic step with you. It is so much more than just the word connection. So there are two reasons why Kizomba was immediately the dance for me in my head that Azalea was going to fall in love with. It was because of this, because it is such a healing thing. It's you know, you come together and you want to present beautiful, calm energy to another person and feel that beautiful, calm energy from them. So automatically, you have to put yourself in a different mindset, you know, when you make that connection. So for her, coming from a flat line, coming from maybe a bit of stress from work, and you know, coming together and her having to put herself in this place and this, you know, and come together with another person, that is important for people in general. It's important for a change of life. It's important for awakenings. And the other thing is that it was important to me to show Kizomba, and not just one side of it, not the introductory side, but people that everybody sees the first time, and then they think this is, oh, this is sexy dance, and that's it. It is sexy, it is beautiful, it is sensual, but it's got a background, just like all the other dances do. They all have a background. They all started in somebody's backyard, you know, at your grandparents' house. And I love that about, you know, about Kizomba. I love all aspects of it. I love the instrumentation. I love, you know, listening to Pablo Flores and Eduardo Paim and all the ghetto Zouk music. I love it all. So I'd like, you know, it was immediate to me because it's such a new dance, you know, on the dance scene. Not necessarily that it is, you know, completely new, but it's just something that's been presented recently and more people are coming in contact with it, that they get a little bit more of a wider view of it.
And from my perspective, Kizomba it's a dance that the way I can describe it is a dance from the magic happened from the inside and it just blew out. So there's that communication. I can't even use the word intimacy, not in a sexual way, but into me see, right? Into me see. So it's really like see my inside based on how I'm feeling, and from the hug you give someone, that tells a lot about what's really happening. And, you know, or when you dance with someone, so just kind of breathe down, that kind of, oh, I'm at peace, or I'm relaxed. These type of so it's really a huge aspect that happens when you dance Kizomba. So there's a lot more I could say about this, but you know, that's the way I would say it. You know, it's a dance from the inside and then explore out from the outside. Like, what these people are doing, but they're hugging, you know. But on the inside, there's a lot of healing. There's a lot of broken walls that you know that I
And I think from the smile on your face, you know what we're talking about, and you're like in agreement. I can see that. You're like, yeah, got it, yeah, totally agree.
I saw him in Houston, man, so I know he's, I saw him dancing, so.
I mean, yeah. So I'll just say for me real quick, personally, I started out with salsa, then moved on to bachata, and then kizomba, and then a little bit of Brazilian zouk as well. But kizomba is easily my favorite dance. It's what I love to dance the most. And I guess it's maybe hard to put in words, but it's like that connection. It is different. I thoroughly enjoy it. I want to say though, Miss Dahlia, I truly appreciate you to taking time out to talk to me.
I appreciate I know it's late for you. I so appreciate that. I'm honored to be on your podcast and that you're taking the time to do this. I really am.
Of course. No, I really appreciate you. Tell me real quick before we, wrap this up. You have this book coming out. How can people? So wait, first off, when is it going to be released, and how can people get it? How can they order this?
Okay, for now, because during the COVID-19, that was when I was able to like write. I was working in the travel industry, and with the travel industry down, then I said, okay, you know what? I've been needing to like finish this book, and now is the time. Now is the moment. And I started writing. So I set the date for the 30th of June. But because I've been so busy writing and dancing now, because now things are starting to open up, and now I'm starting to do more of that, to start working, then I didn't have a chance to figure out how I'm going to get this published in print. And I know there's different steps that I can do, that I can go through to make that happen. But and just to let you know, the cover is me and Davidson. But again, I'm not Azalea, okay? And when I find who I would like to do the cover as Azalea, he's going to be taking a picture with Azalea. So the cover is also going to change, and that's like a little something that to give something, something to look forward to. So it's coming out on the 30th. It's on Kindle. It's going to be on Amazon, and you can already pre-order. And it will just automatically download on the 30th if you pre-order. And eventually when I've gotten out of like the editing and the posting process and all of that stuff, then I'll go ahead and figure out how I'm going to get it published in print. And I think, just like other dance movies, I mean, we love them. This dance movie or this dance book doesn't have the same plot line as other dance movies. It doesn't. So do not be expecting that. And one of the good things that I've been hearing from the editors that I've been working with is that I always leave everything on a cliffhanger, and they do not know what's going to happen next. They don't know. Once it happens, it makes sense. You're like, oh yeah, but you can't tell what's going to happen next. Because I mean, that's pretty much life. I mean, I don't know about anybody, but I've not had like a straight line life where everything just goes, as I expected. No, not at all. So don't expect your typical dance book. This is a view into what Kizomba, the dance scene, is like. There are many things that you're not expecting them to go the way that they do. And then just kind of seep in through the book. It's a lot of reflection on society. And it's coming out on the 30th. Find it on Kindle. And I hope that it can be turned into a movie. And I would, insist that our community, that our dancers are a part of it. I want to see our dancers on the screen. I don't want to, I love actors. I mean, I've been acting also a little bit here and there. But what I need to see are dancers who know what's going on and know the emotions that you go through on that screen. And that for me is what I envision. It's not a goal. It's just the vision that I have. And I'm hoping also, because this is the first time that I ever publish a book or a screenplay. Tons of articles, but I hope that that people reach out to me to help in getting this made. I'm, not in LA. I don't know tons of producers or anything like that. So if you do, and you have a vision that you can help with making this come true, giving another cult classic movie and book and screenplay or Netflix series or whatever, if you can help with that, please reach out to me.
Of course, of course. That leads me to my next question. That I want to hear from both of you all. How can people get in contact with you? What's the best way?
Okay, my Instagram is Dahlia Medio Mundo. Medio means half, mundo means world. And that's because I've seen half the world and I need to see the other half, so now you'll remember it. Instagram at Dahlia Medio Mundo. I've got a YouTube channel as well, but I think that might be the best way. Also, I have an email address that if you'd like, you can post. It's inquiries@dancevacay.com. So my next project after the book would be, and after COVID and everything, would be to help people, dancers, people who are passionate about dance, get to have more of a culturally significant experience with the dance that they love. So I dance salsa, bachata, kizomba, flamenco. And in flamenco, you go to Spain and you spend 3 months in Spain to learn from the teachers and to get to know the teachers and to get to know the culture. You do that multiple times, many times in your lifetime. And I don't find that people do that very often in other dances, except for maybe tango. And so my next project would be to go ahead and start setting up and helping people get to, for instance, Angola or Lisbon, and Puerto Rico, Cuba, New York, to learn more about their culture and to get one-on-one with those professors, because I absolutely adore congresses. I really do. They're so fun, but you're meeting thousands of people, so you don't get the one-on-one. And when you go to the home country of these people, you spend 3 weeks with them. They know you, they can help you better your dance, and you understand more about the culture and where everything is. And I think that's really important. So inquiries with an I at dancevacay.com or at Dahlia Medio Mundo Instagram.
Absolutely. And for mine is Kunity Dance. Kunity Dance. So on Instagram it's Kunity Dance. On Facebook it's Kunity Dance. If you're curious about why Kunity, so Kunity is so it's the idea of combining compa, from Haiti, zouk from the Caribbean too, not Brazilian zouk, the Caribbean zouk. Then you have Kizomba, the K, and then you have urban kids, which I was also introduced. So I was like, well, why don't I combine all these together and make Kunity Dance? So that's the idea of the whole community. So my vision is to continue the exposure, continue to make people dance. I was called the wallpaper guy, the guy that goes to the party and goes straight to the corner. You asked me to dance, I was like, I'm gonna get a drink real quick. So that was me. So the fact that I'm able to actually go and dance, I'm like, man, I could not even believe it. So I want that same experience for everybody to be able to, you know what, I can actually overcome and become whatever I want to be in life.
And I've got to say, Davidson has an amazing gift for so many things. Unity is like embodiment of him as a person. He knows how to unite people just so naturally, just with his spirit, just with his way of being. When anybody who's ever danced with him can tell you that when you connect with him, he's at peace and he's giving you all of his peace. And his studio has blossomed because of his spirit and the way he unites people and his genuineness. So if ever you're in Orlando, if ever you're thinking about who you'd like to invite to your Congress or whatever, tell you, Davidson is absolutely amazing. Anybody who knows him will tell you the exact same thing. And yeah, I encourage you to like reach out to him for anything. He's super accommodating too, really is enthusiastic about helping students, about helping grow the community. I mean, he's sitting here next to me to promote a book so that we can give more light onto Kizomba and the changes that dance can make for you. Yeah, I can't say enough about Davidson. I really can't.
Thanks for that.
Keep going. Lift your head.
Davidson, he's an amazing guy. When I met him, man, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I definitely understand what you're saying. Let me say this real quick. I'm super excited that you have this book coming out. It is a great opportunity. I'm pretty sure everyone is going to absolutely love and have open, accept it with open arms. So I'm a lot of people are excited. Real quick, I want to ask you both this. Before we close this episode out, I want to ask you both. Do you have anything you want to share with the people? Any last words? And I'll say, I'll start with you, Davidson, and then I'll have Miss Dahlia. I'll have you close it out.
So final words.
Final words. Yeah.
Before we pass out, we are tired.
Final words. Love is the reason. Love is the reason. If you have love, you can actually overcome anything. And that is the reason why we're here. We're here to learn about ourselves and how to connect with others. And the only way to actually open up and be vulnerable is to expose the love. And that's the kind of final message. I know there's a lot of things going on in the world, but there is hope. There is, I can see the change, and with love and through dancing, through music, through food, to things like these, all of these things are expression of love. So I would say my final word is love.
That's a hard one to top. How do I do that? I can't top that. I think that that we're all many people in the world are in a place where we want to change, and it can happen, and I don't know. The book came out of just thinking about things in life and my desire for good things in the world and the good things for individuals as well. My desire for Azalea was to see her do well, and for all the characters and not characters, human beings. And I agree with Davidson, the concept of love and connecting and understanding, acceptance is just really important. And it's been something that I've learned through being a military brat and being around so many different kinds of people. It's time. It's time.
If I get the book.
And help us make it a movie.
That's important.
I love it. Like I said earlier, I want to thank you so much, Ms. Dahlia and Mr. Davidson, for taking time actually to talk to me. I'm super glad that we were able to set this up. I'm glad that we were able to, get a chance to advertise this great book you have coming out. I think this is a great way to wrap up this episode of the Two Left Feet podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And we hope to connect. We hope to connect again soon.
Hey, I'm with it.
I appreciate it for everything that you do, and your passion and your patience. About this, because you definitely, brother. I was just telling Dahlia about how patient and dedicated you are. So thank you for doing this for the community.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be on your podcast. Two Left Feet, such a great idea, such a great personality.
Yes.
He's got great vibes.
Yes. He is.
Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate the kind words. I really do.
All right.
Yeah, y'all take it easy. Please enjoy the rest of your day. All right, take it easy.
Bye.
All right, good sleep.
That's all it is. Hey everyone, if you made it this far to all the way to the end of the video, I want to thank you so much. My overall goal with making these interviews and these episodes is to give a voice to dancers, to give them a platform to speak their story. So if this is of value to anyone, then that means the world to me. My overall goal is to give value to the dance community. So if you find no value in this, then I urge you to please let me know where I can improve on. I truly want to, just give value and content to the dance community. So please let me know how I can improve, where I'm messing up, because to be 100% honest with you, I'm learning along the way as I do this. I truly am. So to be able to interact with the dance community, it means the world to me, because it gives me feedback and it lets me know what I'm doing right, where I can improve upon, what I'm doing wrong, which I feel like might maybe more important. So please, if you all could comment and just let me know what you think, it means the world to me, because that feedback just helps me improve. So please comment as well. Please like and subscribe. That means a lot as well. But I want to say thank you so much for just watching this, because it means the world to me. I want to take you on this journey of the Two Left Feet podcast. I'm very excited for it. So once again, thank you so much.